Hey y'all, long time no see. So, a little while ago, the internet story of the week was about a woman's odd choice of wedding food. This creator decided to share with TikTok what they chose to eat during their special day, and were soon labeled an almond bride, and the wedding was lambasted as the almond wedding of the century. And to be honest, I remember watching the TikTok before the online outrage and thinking it was more than a little odd, and there was potential signs that the bride may be a little too preoccupied with healthy eating and dieting, but at the end of the day, it's her life, and what she wanted to do on her day, she did. So she ate what she wanted to on her day. And additionally, most of the food I thought was like fine, and although I think I would indulge more with some unhealthy foods if it were my wedding, I'm not her, and it was what she wanted to eat. That being said, I think that the part of the video that drew the most amount of ire from people on the online communities like TikTok, Twitter, things like that, was the fact that she put anti-bloating pills on her wedding guests' table for them to eat so that they wouldn't bloat. These pills were utilized by the bride herself and on the tables of the guests to help avoid bloating. So they would, I'm assuming, look better in the wedding photos because, you know, it's a wedding, people take a bunch of photos. So those anti-bloat pills were supposed to help with that. And this inclusion of the anti-bloat pills on the tables at her wedding was notably very odd, but not surprising considering our society's obsession with hating the natural processes of the body. And I'm not saying that this TikTok almond wedding is the only example of people disliking the natural state of processes of their internal organs that cause bloating and things like that. I mean, people forever have disliked the natural tendency of a body to bloat after eating specific foods. I mean, people believe that there are certain teas, pills, and other supplements that they can utilize to detoxify their body, reduce bloating, and achieve a healthier lifestyle. So I wanted to take a look at this thought process about detoxifying the body and reducing bloating. And to look at detoxing as a whole, I kind of wanted to examine the detox industry and examine the science behind detoxing. In addition to looking at the claims of people who promote detoxes, I want to actually try these detox teas for myself. So I have actually bought some of the detox teas, and I've been using different types of combinations of detox teas and detox remedies over the course of the last week. So I wanted to see if there were any noticeable differences between taking the detox teas and not taking the detox teas. So with all that being said, let's look at the tea behind the detox teas and the anti-bloat industry. So what is a detox? So detox or detoxification programs or therapies are supplements, aids, and methods meant to remove the toxins from the body to help an individual lose weight, increase the energy, and improve their overall health and well-being. The main thought process behind these detoxes is that the body contains toxins and that we need to regularly remove these toxins from our body to improve health outcomes. People remove these toxins through a number of different means, specifically including fasting, juice cleanses, colon cleanses, utilizing specific herbs and supplements, reducing environmental exposure, and also utilizing saunas. Proponents of these practices claim that detoxing has helped them lose weight, build insulin resistance, reduce their blood pressure, reduce their appearance of bloating, and also increase their energy, and in general just made them feel better. And with all of that good, how could it possibly be bad? So let's start at the beginning. What are these toxins that people say that we need to regularly detox from our body? Well, that's a good question, and the answers are kind of vague. According to some sources, a toxin is just anything in your body that makes you feel bad. And there are some wild claims online and in other places about what toxins people have reportedly removed from their body. But in general, it is agreed upon by Western medical institutions that toxins are not really that big of an issue for people who have healthy adult bodies, and that they certainly do not build up in a person who has functioning immune systems and organs and things like that that are all working and functioning properly. And that is because the body naturally has ways to detox toxins from the body. Specifically, the liver, the kidney, the large intestines bear the brunt of the work removing and scrubbing these toxins from your body, actually doing a natural detoxification of the body. For example, the large intestines or the colon work to scrub impurities and bad toxins from the leftover byproduct created from the small intestines. The liver also helps with digestion and can filter your blood, removing anything like drugs and chemicals in your system. Finally, the kidneys also work to clean your blood of impurities from digestion, waste, yeast and extra water, pushing these things out as urine. An additional line of defense against toxins is actually your lungs. They work really hard to remove any nasty chemicals you inhale as long as they're in small enough doses. So when all of these organs are healthy and working properly, people don't need to worry about toxins in the blood or in other places. However, this is not to say that these organs can't malfunction, become diseased, or stop functioning. And in those cases, when the organs are literally not doing their job, you probably need to see a doctor and not just drink some lemon water. In addition to detoxes being unnecessary, there's also limited information on their effectiveness. Literature reviews from 2015 and 2017 both show that there is limited evidence for the effectiveness of detoxes. And when a study did show any positive impacts, that study typically had fatal design flaws, specifically lack of peer review and other major issues that preclude its findings from being valid. The only benefit researchers could find from juice cleanses is that they may cause initial weight loss. This is most likely attributed to a lack of calorie consumption, and any other perceived benefits are most likely a placebo effect. In fact, there is evidence to show that detoxes may actually do more harm than good. For instance, some detoxes and detox juices have been created with unpasteurized products that are unsafe for consumption. Others have actually been found to have high levels of substance called oxalate that can actually lead to adverse effects on the kidney. Also, colon cleanses, especially from uncertified providers, can have potentially detrimental effects such as intestinal tears, electrolyte imbalances, and infection. Finally, detoxes can also lead to an electrolyte imbalances, dehydration, and starvation. And in general, there are a lot of potentially negative adverse outcomes associated with detoxes for little to no reward. So now that we have some information about the effectiveness and some mythology around detoxing, I think it's important to take a small note and pause right here to note that a lot of detoxification processes are also associated with alternative, non-Western medical practices. And in general, I think the Western Academy, in terms of medical institutions in the West, quickly, and in my opinion, too quickly, dismiss some non-Western alternative medicines that can actually be really helpful and beneficial way to have a holistic approach to health. However, I would like to say that these criticisms are still important to note for detoxification. Although it can be important for traditional or non-Western practices, I think it's important to go with your eyes open about what detoxification is, especially if you're attempting to do detox without a licensed practitioner, someone who usually is an expert in these non-traditional or alternative spaces. So I just wanted to say that there are some reasons to do detoxification, but the pros are certainly a lot lower, especially if you're not doing it with a skilled licensed physician. So that's what I'd have to say.
So I decided to put my money where my mouth was and to try the tea for myself. So I ended up just buying this yogi tea, this detox tea online. I know that there were so many different recipes, and I eventually tried like some lemon water with some like salt in it, but I wanted to just kind of like, to me it seemed like it's unrealistic for somebody to go through all these steps, get raw ginger, juice it, make all these different juices with turmeric. It's expensive. So I just tried this normal tea that maybe you could just pick up in the store to see what it was like.
And like, although I know it takes like a few times, I have a date in about like an hour. So like, I would love to be detoxed a little bit before that. So we're gonna give it a try.
Okay, I guess I thought that clip was important enough to keep in. But anyway, there were a billion ingredients in this. If you can see, there's like literally so many, and a lot of which like aren't my favorite, like sarsaparilla, organic licorice root, all these things. So I was a bit hesitant to try it because I just didn't like the ingredients, but...
Oh, I hate the smell of this. Oh, this is gonna be bad.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it smells really strong, maybe a little too strong, maybe not my favorite, but the principal ingredient in life is love, and so I tried it anyway.
Honestly, not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. Like, I thought it was gonna be awful, and it was fine.
So that's my glowing review of my first taste, but this is me making a different type because, like I said, there's so many concoctions on TikTok, just looking it up. There's so many different recipes people have about different waters, so I decided to just try like a lemon water. I didn't actually have any fresh lemons, which probably people who actually do detoxes would say is a no-go, but I decided to try it and just give it like a good college try to see if I like this type of detox better than the teas.
Okay, cheers. I mean, it's just lemon water.
Another glowing review. But anyway, so I actually did try this detox for like a week and a half. Didn't really see any differences, but I enjoyed the tea after a little while. I mean, I didn't see any difference, but that's just me. So those were my final thoughts. Nothing really happened.
So that was my experience with going on detox teas and like a regimen of detoxing. So in general, I feel like most of the things I felt were a little bit placebo-y. I don't feel like it actually did all that much. I don't feel like my overall health was like completely changed or anything like that. And my level of bloating kind of was just normal. But I mean, if it works for you and if you enjoy the placebo effects and the small boosts in energy that you feel like you get, then like whatever. But for me, I would just say that like be wary. So something I wanted to mention in terms of detoxing is these snake oil salesmen that are surrounding the detox like culture and movement. So most of the supplements that you see and the teas that and say they do X, Y, or Z are not actually regulated or gone through a certification process with the FDA. A lot of supplements and vitamins don't actually have to undergo FDA approval for them to be sold on the market. So you have to take a lot of grains of salt. I was gonna say grain of salt. I would take like a whole handful of salt. You just really have to be careful and mindful of what you're putting into your body and how you're utilizing it. And additionally, detoxing comes with a whole culture around it. And there's a lot of good snake oil salesmen out there who may or may not be affiliated with companies, may be doing their own thing, may have heard something like turmeric works or cayenne peppers work or lemon juice or chia seeds or something like that. And they start kind of putting this information out there as a process that's worked for them. And I wouldn't say that every single person has bad intentions when it comes to detox teas and things like that or regimens that they use. But I would say that like sometimes people do. Sometimes people are trying to sell you into something. I know that there are some MLMs that are associated with detoxification. The tummy tea was a huge deal in the last like 5 years that the Kardashians really promoted heavily on their Instagrams. And it was an anti-bloat product that basically didn't work and it was getting them money. So I feel like in the industry of detox teas, there's a lot of money to be made. I mean, there's been anti-bloat pills and detoxification teas and like regimens. And this industry of like get fit very quick and like everything's going to be like, just take these pills or drink this tea and you'll have a flat stomach and you'll not bloat anymore and you'll lose weight. It's been around for forever. And there's whole entire markets and whole entire products and people who just make their money off of scamming people. And so I would just be very hesitant in taking it someone's word about detoxing and like what you should or should not do, but just be mindful of like the calories you're consuming, what's in the products and who's selling it to you and what they have to gain from selling you or like getting you bought into these products. Is it an MLM? Are they being suspicious? Are they not? Like, are they hiding ingredients? You just really have to do a lot of research. I hate to like end it on this note of like, be mindful, just like follow your heart, that kind of thing. But I would really urge you to, if you're planning on going on a detox, don't just take someone's word for like their detox experience. There's a lot of research out there on if you're really dead set on detoxing in the right way, even though, again, you do not have to detox. If your organs are working, then you do not have to detox. And again, if you're, for some reason, an organ's not working in the same way, you should probably go to a doctor to get that resolved. But the toxins in your body are being eliminated naturally, and going and getting and like potentially putting yourself in harm's way does not seem smart when your body's naturally taking care of those toxins. But in terms of like bloating properties and things like that, I would just say that if you really are invested in like getting your body to like bloat less or to like look better in a photo, just really be mindful of the products you're putting in your body. That goes for everything. But I would say that like for the most part, this is like a scam industry preying on people's insecurities. But in general, that is all I have to say. Be mindful of your surroundings, love your body, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, y'all.